Hello everybody, Mr. Pilgrim here coming at you with a brand new Platinum Trophy Guide, and that is going to be for Diablo 3 Reaper of Souls on the PS4 version of the game. Now basically, I'm going to try and shorten this video to as just being one video if possible, and then going over everything that you'll have to do. Now if you've ever played Diablo 3, you should probably already be familiar with the gameplay and stuff like that. I will show you some later. If not, it's not too big a deal. Now do note that there is going to be a couple of things you'll have to do that will take a bit of time to do. And so what that is, as you'll see, is you will need to at least have 7 characters basically reach, I believe, level 60 or level 70. As you can see, I've got quite a few of them. Some are a little different than others. But basically, what it is you need to at least have 6 characters in just a normal version of the game. So in a game that you know, when you're playing, you can die. And then the last one you have to do is to have a character achieve that in hardcore by getting to level 70, and then yeah. So apart from character levels, basically what you're going to be trying to do is play through the game, beat the game. There are 5 acts in total. They can range from a couple of hours to however long you want to spend doing side stuff. You can always go back and do side stuff later, but for the main part, you're just trying to play through and beat the game. I recommend playing through on either normal or hard if you are feeling up to it. So if you want to, you can so right here in the game settings, you can come over to difficulty, and then you can do hard or normal. The reason why I'd say to do hard is because this will help you kind of level up a little bit quicker, especially your first time playing, and you'll probably get a little bit more accustomed to playing the game. So aside from that, you know, once you have beaten the game, you will need to actually go into harder difficulties and reset the game, or you can do the adventure mode, which will come into play in a minute. And once you do that, you'll have to do that multiple times on one character, and then that'll get them to level 70 eventually. I believe it's going to be your 3rd or 4th playthrough. Now if you happen to have anybody who has played the game beforehand and has a high level character, they can bring you into their game. So like, if you joined me, I could start up a game going into whatever, you know, I could go into adventure mode, and then just go and kill stuff, and then it would level you guys up. You know, or if you happen to have a second controller, what you can do to try and speed up the process is have your main character, you know, get loaded in, and then you have your second character, which is the new character you're trying to level up to 70, join in, and then do that process. They can basically kind of just chill, get loot or whatever you want to do for them, and then you'll do that. Then the next thing to talk about is going to be more or less hardcore. Hardcore is going to be to where if your character dies at all, it's game over. Character's gone. Done. Nothing you can do to change that. So you'll have to do it one time to get a character to level 70, which will probably be the most frustrating thing about this whole Platinum Trophy, as it just takes one wrong batch of elite enemies who have subcategories and modifiers, and your character's dead. You know, that'll be a bunch of hours wasted. But once you do that, or whenever you want to do that, then the next thing to do is going to be adventure mode. So the main part of adventure mode is that there is going to be bounties you can do. Doing those can reward you with gear, gold, stuff like that. You have to do a total of 500 bounties. Now in total, you can get 25 bounties done over all 5 acts when you do this. So you will have to at least do this a good portion, like at least run through all 5 acts, at least a minimum of like 4 or 5 times, something like that. 'Cause, you know, it's gonna be a lot. But 500 bounties is definitely going to take a decent amount of time, probably more like 10 overall. But yeah, so like, let's see if I can just load into a specific. That's weird. Let's see if I can try and show you some gameplay and stuff like that. But if you can, try and get a speedy character. I'm using the Demon Hunter. So yeah. Alright, but once you're in the game, as you'll see, pretty easy top-down view. While we're here in game, we're going to talk about a couple of things. So the first is to talk about your blacksmith. You want to make sure that you level them up. So in order to do that, you will have to train them. So you'll have to obtain materials and then come to the training section and get them fully leveled up. That'll get you a trophy. As well, I believe you can come back this way. You can also find the Mystic. She will be a new character that you get in Chapter 5 or Act 5. You'll want to also level her up. To level things up, you'll have to go into new games. And then the last one is going to be the Jeweler. You'll get him in Act 2. Luckily, you don't have to do any of the overall dialogue-related trophies like in the original Diablo 3, which is nice. But as you can see, though, weird. But yeah, so from here, we're going to actually head to a specific area for a very specific thing. So aside from that, another thing to talk about is going to be just getting gold. You only need to get 500,000. You don't need to have 5 million earned like in the original. But from here, we're actually going to head to fight the Skeleton King, and there's going to be a specific part of the area, as you can see, pretty easy. But once I get there, I will go in detail about the next trophy to talk about that is of importance. Alright, so once you make it to the Royal Crypts, you'll have to at least go through a solid floor before you are here. But this is going to be the quickest area to get the 50 breakables, as you'll see. As you'll gain increased move speed. It's best to kind of try and not immediately break everything, as you'll want to try and save some for when you need to, as you can see. But just like that, you will easily get the 50 breakables. If you happen to have move speed, like so, it makes it really easy already, on top of already having the move speed gained from breaking objects. So yeah, really not too hard. You might have to try this a couple of times, as sometimes you won't, they'll be scattered in just a way that is a little bit annoying. So there is that. But yeah, so from here, you know, it's really not that much harder than just playing through the game normally. You know, like I said, probably the hardest thing to do is going to be hardcore. That one I do definitely recommend playing on normal. If you want to risk playing on hard, by all means you can, you know, but I wouldn't. Um, Trying to think of anything else that's really major of importance. I can't really think of anything. But yeah, for the most part, that's basically gonna mainly be it. Um, just for all the detailed stuff. Um, I guess the remaining thing to do is just to there'll be treasure goblins that you can find. You can shoot them and or attack them, and they will drop gold. They will drop items, weapons, loot, all that stuff. You have to at least defeat 100 of them in total. You'll also need to defeat a bunch of elite enemies. These aren't going to be that important, especially if you're trying to just go through and do the 500 bounties through adventure mode. You will easily unlock most of the trophies and stuff like that. Um, there's really nothing that's hard to do aside from just very grindy stuff, you know. Like I said before, just getting 7 characters to level 70 is a bit of a grind and really does suck. So other than that, the rest of the Platinum Trophy is just going to be based on how much time you're going to dedicate to playing Diablo 3, or if you want to have a friend help you out or not, is really what's going to make the difference, though. So yeah, as always, this has been Mr. Pilgrim. No, this video was a little bit different than normal, but I didn't feel like the game needed that much of a Platinum Trophy walkthrough or multiple videos to do. If you would like that, I would gladly do that for you guys, starting with like a brand new character or something, just going through the game. You know, that would be perfectly fine. But other than that, though, I hope what I did show was at least informative or at least somewhat worthy of being helpful. As, like, the last thing you will have to do is just to have legendary gear in all of your slots equipped, which the green legendary stuff does count. That'll also come from just naturally playing through as random, they'll just randomly drop. So you can't have like guaranteed um, drops or anything like that. So there is that. But other than that, you know, just playing through the game, level up stuff, you know, level your characters up. It's really all I can say. Um, it's a grind. Yeah. But anyways, I will see you all in the next video.